China tried to provoke India in the southern part of the Pangong Tso. The Indian army gave the PLA a befitting reply. Did China learn any lesson from it? Looks like it did not. How else would you explain what China has been doing recently? Beijing has opened 3 fronts. It is provoking India, the United States and Taiwan at the same time. You already know what happened in Ladakh. The PLA has engaged the Indian troops since April. China has provoked India at several points along the LAC, or the line of actual control. The two sides are currently holding commander-level talks in Moldo. This is on the Chinese side of the LAC. For the first time ever, such a meeting is being attended by a diplomat from both sides. India is calling for dialogue and disengagement, but China has refused to step back from the Pangong Tso. And FYI, this is the 6th military-level talk since June. So is China interested in peace at all? Doesn't look like, given the videos that Beijing has been releasing. This one was released on the Chinese Air Force's Weibo account. It shows Chinese forces carrying out a simulated attack on what looks like the US base of Guam. This is a 2-minute video, a 2-minute 15-second video, and a rather dramatic one. Looks straight out of Hollywood. In fact, if you ask me, it looks like a rip-off of The Hurt Locker or The Rock. Look at the video. It shows the H-6 bombers taking off from a desert base. The video is called "The God of War H-6L Goes on the Attack." Halfway through it, you can see the pilot bombing a runway. The satellite image of this runway resembles the Anderson Air Force Base of the United States. This is where Guam is located on the map. The island is home to major US military facilities. It is the first response location for any US military activity in Asia. So what explains this video? To answer that, we must look at Chinese activity on another front, Taiwan. China has been carrying out drills near Taiwan. Chinese jets crossed the midline of the Taiwan Strait several times over the weekend. Multiple military drills were carried out over Friday and Saturday. Reports claim that China carried out at least 40 sorties, 40. Taipei listed out the Chinese jets that crossed the midline of the Taiwan Strait. It includes 2 H-6 bombers, 8 J-16 fighters, 4 J-10 fighters, 4 J-11 fighters. This was on Friday. Then on Saturday, we have 12 J-16 fighters, 2 J-10 fighters, 2 J-11 fighters, 2 H-6 bombers, and 1 Y-8 anti-submarine warfare aircraft. Taiwan said it has the right to self-defense. In a statement, the country's defense ministry said it followed the guideline of no escalation and conflict and no triggering incidents. So we are back to the question, what triggered the Chinese provocation? And here's the answer. US Undersecretary Keith Cratch was in Taiwan over the weekend, and the military drills and the Weibo video was China's way of sending a message to Taipei and Washington. China wants to maintain that Taiwan is a part of its territory, and I'm not surprised that Beijing has this response. When asked about the drills in the Taiwan Strait, it said the provocation was reasonable. Listen to this.
The current military drills are a reasonable, necessary action given the current situation in the Taiwan Strait. They are aimed at safeguarding national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Taiwan is a sacred and inseparable part of China. Taiwan is purely an internal Chinese affair that needs no foreign interference. Recently, the US and the Democratic Progressive Party have colluded with each other very closely and are frequently causing issues, whether it is using Taiwan as leverage to curb China or relying on another's power to bully or frighten others. This is just wishful thinking and doomed to fail.
Keith Cratch is the second senior U.S. official to visit Taiwan in recent times. And just to refresh your memory, U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar was in Taiwan last month. Cratch's visit made China so insecure that it did not stop just at drills in the dramatic video. The CCP's mouthpiece, China Daily, published a rather bitter editorial this morning. It said the United States was trying to use Taiwan to contain China. China Daily also added, and I'm quoting here, the US administration should not be blinkered in its desperation to contain the peaceful rise of China and indulge in the US addition to its hegemony. Neither Taiwan nor the US responded to the Chinese provocation militarily. What if they did? What if India, the United States and Taiwan decide to jointly retaliate? Will the PLA be able to sustain the joint forces? Let's look at the numbers. China has 2.18 million men, active military personnel. India, Taiwan and the United States put together, 3 million. So China is outnumbered. Before sending aircraft to the Taiwan Strait, China should also look at this, its aircraft strength, 3,210. If you combine the number of aircraft of India, Taiwan and the US, the number is 16,131. Let's talk tanks. China, 3,500. 11,761 if you combine India, Taiwan and America. So what exactly is China thinking in opening up multiple battle fronts? Why would it engage 3 countries at the same time, especially when it includes the world's most powerful and 4th most powerful armies? How will it fight such strong countries? The editor of the Global Times has a master plan. This is what he wrote recently on Weibo, and I'm quoting, "If we have no choice but war, we should first avoid direct conflict with the US. We can instead severely beat up a US running dog that always crosses our bottom line to send a warning." This is the same Global Times that previously called Australia a gum that was stuck to China's shoe. Now it is calling Australia a US running dog. The Global Times editor is sounding a war bugle. He's opening a 4th front with Australia. And must we remind him of China's numerous tussles in the South China Sea? How many reports will it take for China to understand that it cannot afford a war at this point?